Alright, so I did a tier list of the first Hearthstone set classic. Now moving on to the second one. This one's a lot shorter, only 30 cards. I did a tier list of the Curse of Naxxramas. Alright, so we're starting off with Poison Seeds. I can go a little bit slower this time around because there's only 30 cards. Believe it or not, I know Poison Seeds sees a ton of play in Wild, but it's actually not. It wasn't actually good when Naxxramas came out. Yeah, I'm just gonna say Nax from now on, so I don't have to keep saying the whole damn name. Because it's kind of hard to say. But definitely because it sees a lot of play in Wild, I'll just give it a B. Just put it in between. You know, it wasn't good when Nax came out, but you know, in Wild it was super good. So I think B is fine. I think B is fair. Web Spinner. That card's bad. Duplicate, I love this card. One of my favorite cards from this set. But unfortunately, it didn't really do it. But I like the card. I might give it a C just for be fair. No. It's bad. I like the card though a lot, unfortunately. Avenge is definitely... I rated a lot of the secrets, you know, in the last one pretty badly. Like I gave Redemption bad, obviously Repentance bad. I gave Noble Sacrifice an S. Another S is Avenge. This secret always made me mad. I always hated that secret. Hard to play around. A Dark Cultist saw a lot of play. I remember seeing this card a lot, so S tier on that one. Next up we have a Nubar Ambusher. This card was terrible, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember ever seeing it very much. Same for this next card, Rejuvenate. Or I meant Reincarnate, excuse me. Reincarnate, yeah, it didn't see play until later in like, I'm pretty sure in like big decks it saw play. Void Caller is one of those cards that got better as time went on because they printed more and more, you know, big demons. And obviously use Void Caller to summon the big demons. It's not really good enough in Wild anymore, but it was seeing a lot of play in Wild at one point. You know, someone like a Void Lord or in other cards. People just use the weapon now, you know. There's no point in having Void Caller in your deck anymore. But it's definitely a powerful card. At this point in time, though, you know, like, there wasn't really much to summon with it, you know. You would summon Doomguard, right? But the Zoo was already, you know, Zoo didn't run this card obviously because it's 4 mana, and that was the deck you played at this time with Zoo. You didn't play, you weren't playing anything else, right? Zoo is the best Warlock deck. But obviously, since it saw a lot of play later, I'll put it B. Just to be fair, put it in between, you know. The next card on the list is Deathspite, and it didn't take long for this card to get good because it wasn't until a year later when they released Grim Patron that this card saw, you know, a lot of insane amount of play. So since it didn't take long for this card to, you know, see a lot of play, I'm going to give it an S. With Void Caller and Poison Seeds, it took a long time for them to really take off, you know. But with Deathspite, it was almost immediate because, like, a year later they released Blackrock Mountain, which had Grim Patron in it. And the rest is history, you know. Oh my god. Well, I don't even need to say anything about The Undertaker. Like, come on. Zombie Chow, obviously S as well, but where am I putting this? Probably here. Nope, no. Definitely not that. Yeah, I think like that. I'd probably, well, I don't know how those two would go. I think it's pretty average, honestly. As for the worst card, it's this card right now. I'd put Duplicate Head of Web Spinner. This Ooze card, basically, you play it, and then at the end of the turn, it'll summon a copy of itself, but yeah, it wasn't very good. It's better than that card, though. This card saw a shit ton of play. In fact, I think that's... Yeah, I think it's right there. I remember seeing that Creeper card all the damn time. That card got annoying. And that's another one of the best cards here. Mad Scientist. What secret deck... What made secret deck didn't run Mad Scientist? Like, I'll wait. Literally all of them did. Literally all. Literally every made secret deck had Mad Scientist in it until it left, you know, standard. Even in Wild, it still sees play. Crazy. This card saw meta play at one point. I don't remember when it was, but I swear this card saw meta play. Narubar Weblord. You guys let me know when this card saw play, because I know it did. I'm 100% certain it saw meta play at one point and it stopped. If it didn't see meta play at first, it didn't see play for a long time, right? It saw meta play at one point and then it stopped seeing meta play again. Or it wasn't meta at first. It became meta for a small period of time and then it fell off again. But you guys have to let me know when, because I don't remember when. I know for a fact it saw meta play at one point, though. I can't for the life of me remember, though. So I'm going to put it C, because it was only a brief period of time. Nubian Egg, I'll just give it an S. I think that's fair. Still in standard to this day. Well, I don't know. I think it might have left standard at one point, but... well, yeah, it did leave standard at one point, of course, but... it definitely saw a lot of play. I don't think it's better than Cultist, though. Unstable Ghoul saw a lot of play, too, because dealing 1 damage back in the day was a lot. Plus it had Taunt. So another S here. This card saw play in Mill Rogue later in Wild, but it never saw like standard play. And I don't think it's a very good card, so I'm putting it S. Death Lord was one of those cards that I always liked, and I played it in a lot of my decks back in the day. And it definitely saw, you know, some play. But it's a risky card, you know, because just like Dirty Rat, you know, that'll be coming in a set, you know, soon. You know, it's a risky card to play, you know. Like you could pull out something massive out of the opponent's deck. But I like the card. I'm gonna give it a B. I think that's fair. This is another card I liked a lot as well. This card I probably played more than any other card in this out of this whole set. This is the card I played the most. Shade of Naxxramas, but it's not a very good, you know, card. I'll put it C though, because I've definitely seen the card a lot, but you know, people like me played it, you know. So that's not. I usually typically means it's pretty bad if I played it. I like all the bad cards. This card never saw play. I don't even know what this card's called. Let me zoom in so I can see what it's called. Oh yeah, Stone Skin Gargoyle. I've never seen this card. This card neither. It wasn't very good. Your minions trigger their death rattles twice. I'll probably put this in high D though, because I mean the effect's powerful, but it's not. It wasn't a good card, right? Oh, this card was terrible too. I think this might be the worst card. Silence your other minions. I guess the reason they made it a 4, it's good stats for the cost, you know, but a terrible effect. Alright, I'm gonna... I have to give him a D, right? I have to give both of these a D, right? You have to, right? I hate to do it, man. I hate to be like that. Because these two saw a lot of... People love these two for some reason. I don't know why. But they loved to summon the big ol' 1111 or whatever it was. Thaddeus. Yeah, it just didn't... It wasn't good. It wasn't even good later. People just kept trying to make it work and it just did not work. But what did work was this card. Lotheb. I mean, it's close. Undertaker fell off, you know, because it got nerfed, right? Lotheb never fell off in Hearthstone history. It was always a super powerful card. I mean, I don't know if it really saw much play when it first came out. I don't really think I've seen it that much. It's been so damn long ago, but it definitely saw a lot of play later. And it's just a super powerful effect too. Like the effect is busted on it. Basically make every control deck useless on their next turn. You put this in an aggro deck, you make your opponent's controlled cards useless for one turn. And then the control player just passes their turn basically, because they can't do anything. And then that control player automatically loses the game. Because you played one card. And then it brings us to Sludge Belcher. So now it's the ultimate matchup between Sludge Belcher and Lotheb. Sludge Belcher fit into more decks, so I'm putting Sludge Belcher on top. I would put Undertaker first on this, but he got nerfed and then he fell off, right? Like he fell off really bad. Spectral Knight. This is a bad card, right? And then Myexna, terrible card as well. And then Kel'Thuzad, I wouldn't necessarily say is terrible. Like Big Priest, you know, later, you know, would play this card. I'll give it a fair B. Definitely pretty iconic too. Yeah, I think it's fair. Alright, so here's my Curse of Naxxramas top 5. Or I guess there's 11 here. Top 10. So Sludge Belcher number 1, Lotheb, Undertaker, which, like I said, he got nerfed, so he fell off, and then otherwise he'd be first, right? But Mad Scientist, Haunted Creeper, Zombie Chow, Unstable Ghoul, Deathspite, Avenge, Dark Cultist, and Nerubian Egg, all S. There's merit to putting some of these in A. These 4 right here in A. But I don't think they saw a lot of play at the beginning, you know? I think it took them time. Like all 4 of these, it took time. And with that said, I don't want to put them higher up because it took them time to see meta play. So I think B is a fair, you know, a fair rating for these cards. This card I love a lot, but that doesn't mean it's a good card, right? Same for this card. It saw meta play at one point, but I don't remember when, so that's why I'm giving it a C. If you guys can tell me when it saw meta play, I'd be appreciative of that, because I don't remember. I certainly remember it being popular at one point. And then for D, you have all these cards, of course. Like, Duplicate's definitely second place. I'd put Duplicate first on D, the least bad card. And then I'll put these guys least bad. I mean, they were something. But the fact you could silence one of them or hex one of them or whatever, you know, you had to play both of them. They were incredibly slow. It just felt bad when one of them dies, right? And then you have the other one. You summon the other one on the board. And then it gets hexed or silenced. And you just feel really bad. So, yeah. And I guess I'll put this card, number 5, is... As for the worst cards, probably this card. Or no, this card's worse. Yeah, probably this order is the worst cards. So the worst card in the set is Wailing Soul, right? Do you guys agree with that or not? The second worst card is Anubar Ambusher, Myexna, Spectral Knight, and then Stoneskin Gargoyle. The thing about this Ooze card is you could buff this card and then it'll summon a copy after you buff it. So it wasn't a terrible, you know, it's not an insanely bad card, you know. It's got some upside on it. So let me know what you think. For the tier list videos, I'm reacting to every comment because I get that people aren't gonna be too happy with everything. So as long as you're respectful about it, I mean, geez. Like, I'm trying to be respectful as possible. Like, I think I did pretty well, but maybe I didn't. Maybe you disagree. I don't really know what your rating would be. Everybody's rating would be totally different though, but this is what I would rate them. You know, and that's the whole fun of these tier lists, is giving your opinion. Not everybody's opinion's right on this stuff. Probably some of these a little bit off on, you know. But I think it seems pretty accurate to me. In my head, it feels right, you know. So let's just go over the top 5 best cards and the top 5 worst cards. So the top 5 best cards: Sludge Belcher, Lotheb, Undertaker, Mad Scientist, and Haunted Creeper. And then the 5 worst cards: Wailing Soul, Anubar Ambusher, Myexna, Spectral Knight, and Stoneskin Gargoyle as the worst Naxxramas cards. And that's it. It's been my Hearthstone Curse of Naxxramas all cards tier list maker. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos. I did some other tier lists too. I did a Hearthstone Classic. I'm going to be posting a Hearthstone Metal Raiders set review tier list. That was Yu-Gi-Oh's second set. I already uploaded a Legend of Blue Eyes tier list, so if you want to check that out, you can. Or the Hearthstone Classic tier list if you want to see that. But keep in mind that Hearthstone Classic tier list was 2 hours long. I feel like I could have got this done with this one sooner as well, but I wanted to take my time with it. But yeah, stay tuned for next time, which will be Goblins versus Gnomes. Yep, Goblin versus Gnomes next. And then I'll rate Blackrock Mountain Grand Tournament. And then, oh, I can't wait to do League of Explorers. You already know I'm excited about that one. But yeah, thanks for watching. Later.